Mario Kart 7 is definitely one of the more underrated entries in the franchise, and I've never made a really standalone video talking about it until now. However, it is the best-selling 3DS game, and it introduced a lot of cool and interesting new mechanics, and it has a variety of stellar tracks. And we're going to be ranking all of them today. Now, I know I already ranked all the Mario Kart tracks in the past, but my opinions have changed since then, so it won't be all the same. Starting off with number 32 is the Luigi Raceway. As a surprise to no one, this is the first track from Mario Kart 64, and I'm already not too fond of that game's tracks. All you're really doing here is making some basic turns, and you go through a tunnel at one point. There's a Luigi hot air balloon, which is cool, and I do like how you can drive on the bleachers, but it's not like it gives you anything. The only reason to replay this track is because of the cool music. Number 31 is Mario Circuit 2. This track originated from Super Mario Kart. It might have been one of the better tracks in that game, but that's simply not the case here. Even if the track has been improved with an added glider section and that weird bumper glider thing, and it is fun using it near the end, that's about the highlight for the track, and even then it isn't too exciting. Again, the only reason to really play this one is because of the music. Number 30 is the first track in the game, Toad Circuit. It does a good job introducing things like the glider, the boost panels, items, coins, and whatnot, but it's just a very basic, standard grassy plains kind of track. Again, the song is good, but you could say that for a lot of tracks in this game. Although I guess the Toad balloons are pretty noteworthy. People do choose this track a lot online. Number 29 is GBA Bowser Castle 1. This is one of the first Bowser Castles in the series, so it is pretty basic. There's some thwomps and some 90-degree turns here and there. A glider pops up on the second and third lap, which is pretty cool since you can skip a pretty decent chunk of the ending of this track. And of course the song is just as fantastic as it was back in the GBA, but it's still pretty basic, which makes sense since it's in the Shell Cup. Number 28 is Cheep Cheep Lagoon, the first underwater track in the game. And although it does do a good job showing you what it is, with things like Cheep Cheeps and clams, it feels pretty basic. The physics can be pretty fun, and there is a cool shortcut you can drive on the edge of the track near the beginning that everyone takes online, but that's about it. I guess the cave is interesting, but it's just way too short. Number 29 is Smith Rainbow Road, the original Rainbow Road track. It's here back in its old glory, and of course we have the rainbow thwomps to avoid, who create shockwaves now, which are fun to trick off of, and there are the ramps and the famous song. It was good back then, but it feels a bit anticlimactic, especially seeing as how it's technically the final track in the game, ending off the Lightning Cup. But it's not too bad, and it can be pretty fun. Number 26 is Calamari Desert. This is another Mario Kart 64 track, but it's a lot more interesting than the Luigi Raceway, simply for the fact that there's a giant train, and of course you gotta avoid it. Sometimes you'll have to stop for it, but it doesn't appear nearly as much as it does in Mario Kart 64, which is why I have the unpopular opinion of it being better in that game, which is a rare thing for me. The song is back too, and it's very nice. The track does feel quite cozy, and the added glider sections are cool, but I don't have much more to say about it. And it can feel rather basic when you're not passing the train. Number 25 may come as surprising, but if you've been onto my channel before, maybe not. Waluigi Pinball is up next at number 25, and let me explain why. Sure, the pinball theme is very cool, and seeing pinballs rolling around and all the flashing lights and neon colors is pretty cool, and while it definitely might seem like it doesn't deserve to be in the bottom 10, it is because a lot of the track is just basic turns, avoiding a pinball here and there. The song is great, sure, but the only time anything's actually truly related to pinball is at the table for the last few seconds. The track doesn't have too much substance, but I can't hate it for much other than that. It is cool. Number 24 is Daisy Hills. It might just be the second track in the game, but it uses the glider a lot better than Toad Circuit did. The reason? Well, you use it to pass some hot air balloons in a town near the end. There's some cute little goats as well, the song is a lot nice, and it definitely feels like something that could take place in Europe. It does have a nice cozy feel to it, and I like the whistle in the song. Pretty decent track for just a Mushroom Cup. And number 23 is Luigi's Mansion. The track from the DS is back. And although this time the graveyard is more apparent, and there's a glider, not much changes here. Of course, you do still have those creepy dead walking trees, but weirdly enough, this track still takes place way too much outside of the actual mansion itself, which is funny seeing as how the original Luigi's Mansion was planned to have outside sections. So overall, not a bad track, but once you get outside, it kinda gets forgettable. Number 22 is Wii Mushroom Gorge. This track comes from, you guessed it, Mario Kart Wii. And again, another unpopular opinion here, but Mushroom Gorge is better in Mario Kart 7. There's a glider mushroom there at the end, which is pretty fun to use. And although some shortcuts are taken away, the mushrooms are a lot more fun now, and you can almost guarantee that you won't be falling into the abyss, unless you screw up some mushroom jumps. It is a cool track, though, and it's great to see it return here on the go. Number 21 is Woohoo Loop. The Woohoo tracks are pretty famous in this game. It's easy to see why. Not just because they're based off Woohoo Island, but because they're the first tracks in the Mario Kart series where it's divided into sections and not laps. Although this one doesn't use it very well, you do drive on a bridge, through a tunnel. There's some cool shortcuts here and there. That's definitely my favorite thing about the track. But overall, it does feel quite flat, even for a Flower Cup track. And the vehicles aren't as prominent here as the other tracks in the series. Number 20 is DK Pass. I always liked this track in Mario Kart DS. It felt very cozy, again, and the music is quite nice as well. It's an uphill battle near the beginning, with some cute snowmen and snowballs to boot. And of course, there's that special item box that always gives you a star and mushroom. Near the end, you're climbing down the mountain, and there's now a glider section where ramp used to be. It's definitely better than the original, and like I said, the song is quite nice, but I can't put it too high. Number 19 is N64 Cooper Beach. Mario Kart 64 might not have had that many cool tracks, but this was one of them. There's a cool shortcut you can take by going through a tunnel, and now it's a lot more fun since there's a glider to use and you go out through a waterfall. And of course, that big ramp that's hard to take and always made you spin out and just gave you a blue shell has been replaced with a glider to go over something that much more resembles a shell. Same as that Koopa Rock. It's a nice track, and it definitely gets a nice improvement here, and fits Mario Kart 7's engine a lot better. Number 18 is Shy Guy Bazaar. One of the first few tracks in the game, and things start getting creative with Shy Guy Bazaar. It's based on Super Mario Bros. 2 of all things, the Subcon area. There are a few jars and an Arabian town to drive through, and although it doesn't use the theme too much, it is still pretty cool, especially when you see those Shy Guys flying on magic carpets. The song's great too. Number 17 is Rosalina's Ice World. A pretty divisive track among the Mario Kart community. A lot of people don't like it because, hey, it might just seem like a generic ice track that you drive underwater at some point. But let me assure you that this one's a lot of fun. It's based off Mario Galaxy. Well, kind of. I mean, you get to see the Comet Observatory near the end and other planets. The name is kind of weird, sure, but I like how you can choose to either go on top of the ice, on the glacier, or underwater. They even have some cute penguins, and they aren't annoying like they are in Sherbert from Mario Kart 64. And of course, the glorious song is here too. Look, even if you don't like the track itself, this song is amazing. It's a lot of fun.